Welcome back to political science class. This is the first session of the day. The last class we discussed about one particular political party, that is Bharatiya Janasangh, and the independent party, that means the Swatantra party, from the chapter 2, era of single party dominance. Okay, so please observe the textbook. Please turn on your cameras, everyone. Please turn on your cameras. And here we are, Bharatiya Janasangh. Okay, in that particular page, you are able to see a person, Deen Dayal Upadhyaya, 1916-1968. Okay, he's a full-time RSS worker since 1942. Since 1942, founder member of the Bharatiya Janasangh, General Secretary and last president of Bharatiya Janasangh, initiated the concept of integral humanism. Okay, so this word is connected with the integral humanism is connected with the Deen Dayal Upadhyaya. Deen Dayal Upadhyaya, integral humanism. Okay, it is nothing but the overall development of each and every individual in a country. Okay, so the Mahatma Gandhi's concept are there, right? Antyodaya, Sarvodaya. Okay, all these concepts that adopted by Deen Dayal Upadhyaya, and he also formulated many programs and policies for the development of almost all the different sections of the people in the country. That's what integral humanism, the concept of Deen Dayal Upadhyaya. Clear or not? Okay, next one, moving forward. So already we started the emergence of opposition parties by analyzing this cartoon. This cartoon there. So this cartoon shows that the power and strength of the Congress party, power and strength of the Congress party at that time, and almost all the opposition leaders, the leaders of different political parties with different ideologies, they are trying to win over the Congress party here or the Congress government. Okay, but the caricature shows that they cannot do it. Okay, because it is so powerful. Okay, it's that rope is tied to a tree, so the people are unable to. I mean, the opposition parties are unable to beat them. Okay, so emergence of opposition party. As we have noted above, it is not that India did not have the opposition parties during this period. So already we know that soon after the independence for several years, it is only the Congress party that is the governing party or the ruling party and the opposition. Okay, so there are no other parties are there with good ideologies to oppose Congress party. Okay, while discussing the results of the election, we have already come across the names of many parties other than Congress. Even then, India had a large number of diverse and vibrant opposition parties than many other multi-party democracies. So the specialty of our country in India, there are a number of political parties are there with different viewpoints, different programs and policies. Okay, comparing with other multinational or multi-party countries. Sorry, multinational is multi-party, not multinational, multi-party. Okay, so comparing with the different multi-party nations, we are able to say that India is a country with a number of opposition parties with different programs and policies, different ideologies. Okay, some of these had come into being even before the first general election of 1952. Some of these parties played an important part in the politics of the country in the 60s and 70s. Okay, as we discussed earlier, in the 1960s and 1970s, number of these political parties proved their strengths. Okay. The roots of almost all non-Congress parties of today can be traced to one or the other of the opposition parties of the 1950s. Today, we can find number of political parties in India. Most of these political parties' roots are, I mean, the major political parties' roots are connected to the parties that formed in the year or in 1950s. Okay, in 1950s. Clear? Clear. Almost all the present political parties, major political parties, rather than Congress party, its roots are connected with the parties that formed in between 1950 and 60. All these opposition parties succeeded in gaining only a token representation, just a nominal representation. That's what here, token representation in the Lok Sabha. 1 minute. Okay, so there is only a nominal representation, just one or two seats. Okay, maximum five. That's what. Okay, here the token representation in the Lok Sabha and the state assemblies during this period. Yet their presence played a crucial role in maintaining the democratic character of a system. So we know that if a country is accepting by the people or international acceptance were there, okay, that is on the basis of managing democratical type of government with the different political parties. Okay, clear or not? So if you want to get a international acceptance related with the democracy, first of all, the country want to follow a democratical setup with the numerous political parties. So India did it. Okay, so in the case of India, we know that there are number of political parties are there, even though they succeeded very in very limited seats. Okay, clear. They got a very limited number of seats in the Lok Sabha and state assemblies. Then also they functioned as opposition parties. This kept the ruling party under check and often changed the balance of power within the Congress. Okay, sometimes these political parties, I mean, the opposition parties are able to make check. Okay, that time Congress party tried to create balances. I mean, checks and balances. We already studied that in the junior classes, right or not? Okay, checks and balances that related with the government. Okay, by keeping democratic political alternative alive. Okay, next, Swathantra Party we already discussed. Okay, related with the C. Rajagopalachari. Okay, moving forward. These parties prevented the resentment with the system from turning anti-democratic. Okay, so number of political parties are there in India, were there in India at that time, that helped India to move forward with the democratic concept. Okay, so just imagine if there were no other political parties are there, what will happen in this country? Can anyone give me that answer? Only one political party is there. There were there no political opposition. There is no other parties. What will happen? Think and tell.
Won't be
What will happen in a
democratic.
democratic
It
country?
turns into a single party system.
Okay, definitely. Only one party is there, so we can say it. It will turn into a single party democratic system. There is no opposition means what will happen there? It will lead to a particular situation termed as, what is that? Hmm? Majority domination over the minority, or a kind of fascism, right? Right? They will take their own decisions without the consent of the people. Okay, there is nobody is there to check or nobody is there to question them, so they will take decision as or they related with their wishes or whims and caprices. In the early years, there was a lot of mutual respect between the leaders of the Congress and those of the opposition. Okay, the interim government that ruled the country after a declaration of independence and the first general election included opposition leaders like Dr. Ambedkar and Shyama Prasad Mukherjee in the cabinet. You observe here perfectly. What is that? What is that? No? They were always give respect to the opposition parties. All the parties they used to give that respect to other party leaders. Even you are able to find that. Okay, Dr. B.R. Ambedkar, he's not a member of the Congress party. Then also he became the law minister of India. Okay, Shama Prasad Mukherjee, he is from Hindu Mahasabha. He also became a member of the cabinet ministry. Okay, Jawaharlal Nehru often referred or to his fondness for the Socialist Party and invited socialist leaders like Jayaprakash Narayan to join his government. So Jawaharlal Nehru is the person, he basically like the ideology of socialism. So he invited Jayaprakash Narayan, one of the important socialist leader of that time, to join in his government. This kind of personal relationship with and respect for political adversaries declined after the party competition grew more intense. Nowadays, we know that there is no respect between the political parties, and even one political party leader is not going to give respect to the other political party leaders. So today we know that, or we are able to find that intense tension between these political parties. The race to power is very competitive, right or not? It's a competitive world, right? Competitive elections are there. Party politics is too strong there. Cadre system of some parties are very, very strong in its grassroots level. So this kind of what you can say, respecting the other party members or other party leaders that declined today. There is no such thing we are able to find. Clear? So last 2 days news shows that. Okay. Anybody read today's newspaper? Anybody read today's newspaper? Read or not? Grishma? Nobody. Why Amal Raj? Why not read so?
Sir, it's because of issue holiday today.
Yeah,
So no paper.
no newspaper today. It's a holiday. Okay, it was a holiday yesterday, so there's no newspaper today. Ah, that's a good answer, Amal Raj. So before that, we read that, right or not? What is that? What is that? Huh? The COVID. Okay, our chief minister, the former chief minister, both infected with the COVID disease. Related with that, a number of news are spreaded there. Right? Right? Right or not? No, no chance. Okay, so let it be. I am not ready to discuss that things with you. Okay, let it be. If you're able to do, just read the newspaper. Number of times I repeatedly telling you people to newspaper reading is compulsory for understanding the things there. This first phase of democratic politics in our country was quite unique. Okay, so the first government in India is a quite unique government because almost all the ministers in that government they are not from the same party, not from the same party, right or not? Even Jawaharlal Nehru invited number of other party leaders those have different ideology and different programs and policies, okay, to join in the first government. Okay, the inclusive character of the national movement led by the Congress enable it to attract different sections. So in the national movement, we know that Congress is the party that invited almost all the different groups of people to participate in the national movement, right or not? Okay, so the same method they used here also. They invited almost all the different groups of people with a different ideology to become parts of the cabinet or the first ministry. Okay, groups and interests making a broad-based social and ideological coalition. So Congress party is that idea, inviting everyone to become a part of this government. Okay, that created a new social and ideological coalition. So Congress party already we know that it's a rainbow like coalition is there in the party, right? Clear or not? All the different groups of people are there are the members of that political party, and the same time they are invited number of other political party leaders to join with the Congress party. Okay, in the new government, which means it's a combination of social and ideological differences. Okay, that's what we are using the term there. It's a social and ideological coalition. Social and ideological coalition. Okay, so you can see here Nehru's cabinet after the swearing of the Chakravarti Rajagopalachari as the Governor General in the year 1948. Okay, so interim government soon after the independence. Okay, you can see more number of the leaders there. Just a small work for you people. Okay, find out the name of the leaders here. Okay, all mentioned here, right? Okay, clear or not? Either or not, but not in an order. Not in an order there, right? Either order is there. Standing from the left or standing from the right is there. Yes, there. So are you able to find them? Yes. Okay. So just understand the names of the leaders and try to recognize the faces. Okay. In the coming years, maybe examinations are there or competitive examinations are there. You will find a face of this person and ask you people to find out the name. Okay. Clear or not? Okay. So just observe this picture clearly. So it's the first interim government. Okay. Next one, so Congress parties become a social and ideological coalition. Key role of the Congress in the freedom struggle, this gave it a head start over others. We know that in the elections, the Congress party, they participated in the national movement, okay, in a perfect way. So that helped the Congress party to win over the elections there. And the ability of the Congress to accommodate all interest and all aspirants of political power steadily declined. Other political parties started gaining greater significances. Thus, Congress dominance constitute only one phase in the politics of the country. We shall come to the other phase in the latter parts of this textbook. So, what happened here? The Congress party started including everyone. Okay. Then, as a result of that, other political parties in the country that become powerful. So Congress party give chances to everyone to develop. Clear? As a result of that, almost all the different political ideologies or different political parties with different ideologies, they started gaining power. Okay, after the first phase of elections. Okay, next one you can see Shyama Prasad Mukherjee, leader of Hindu Mahasabha, founder of Bharatiya Janasangh, minister of Nehru's first cabinet after independence, resigned in 1950 due to differences over relations with Pakistan, member of Constituent Assembly, and later the first Lok Sabha, was opposed to India's policy of autonomy to Jammu and Kashmir, arrested during Janasangh agitation against Kashmir policy, died during detention. Okay, that's what about Shyama Prasad Mukherjee. Shyama Prasad Mukherjee. Okay, next one, party combination in Bihar village. Bihar village. Okay. Okay, I will give you 5 minutes for you people to read and analyze and understand that. And I will ask questions from that. Fast. Just 5 minutes. Make it fast.
Yes, sir.
Can you hear me, Ashish? Tell me. Is there a newspaper report?
I think so.
You think so? You read that or not?
I read.
All right. Then you got it is a newspaper report. What about you, Sneha?
Sir, it is an extract from the novel
Extract from the novel. Written by
French Train.
Fanisher Nath Reno. Okay. So what described in that extract, Elvina Joy?
It is saying the elections has done between the two contests between the Bhumihas and Rajputs, and they in both these castes there were two wealthy businessmen and Samindas, and they were campaigning in their motor cars um, campaigning, and the one the Seth who's belonging to the Katihar cotton is representing the Bhumihar party, and the owner of Paribangan jute mill was representing the Rajput, and in this they were um, the one in this
Yeah.
they both are going for a campaigning which they contesting the for a party chairman.
Fine. So basically, in the first phase, we are able to find that there's intense tension between the ideologies of Congress Party and the Socialist Party, right? Right or not? An ideological difference. Ideological difference. Okay. Then the writer, she says that with the two people or two different political ideologies is coming to conflict, what will happen there? The common people will get benefited from that, right? They will get the benefit from that kind of conflicts there because okay, so the people always able to find a good chance to adopt the good ideology that is work best for their development. Okay, clear or not? And she described how the ideological differences between the poor and rich funk works there. Okay, so everywhere related with the party politics, we are able that people are able to find out the fight between the rich and the poor too. Clear? So this kind of source-based questions will be there for you in the examination. Clear or not? So it's a compulsory part for we people. So source-based questions, read it, analyze it, and try to find out what is the meaning of that thing there. Okay, perfectly you have to read the just mentioned that it is a abstract from the textbook. Okay, I mean a novel, right or not? Clear or not? Then I am asking Ashish Benny. Where is Ashish Benny? Okay, he's not here. Anyway, it is not good to speak about someone in his absence. Okay, so we will speak about that later. Okay, so the chapter is completed. The chapter is completed. So try to write these notes there. Fine. First, take your notes, everyone. So now you are going to write about short notes related with some political parties here. Socialist Party, Socialist Party for easy understanding. Okay. Okay. The origin of the Socialist Party can be traced back. The origin of the Socialist Party can be traced back can be traced back to the mass movement stage of, traced back to the mass movement stage of Indian National Congress, Indian National Congress, which was formed in 1934, which was formed in 1934, 1934 by Acharya Narendra Dev, by Acharya Narendra Dev, and later on, and later on, and later on, it was separated to, it was separated to form Socialist Party in 1948. Form, it was separated to form Socialist Party, Socialist Party in 1948, in 1948, in 1948, in 1948, with ideology of democratic socialism, with ideology of democratic socialism, with ideology of democratic socialism, and criticized capitalism, and criticized capitalism, and criticized capitalism. Next one, the Communist Party of India, the Communist Party of India, the Communist Party of India. In the early 1920s, in the early 1920s, communist groups emerged in different parts of India. Communist groups emerged in different parts of India. Communist groups emerged in different parts of India. Having a brief of communism. Having a brief of, having a belief of communism. Wrote that? Having a belief of communism. So we know that what is the belief of communism, right? Okay, they are against capitalism. Okay, they want the development of the poor people and upliftment of all the different groups of people in the society. That's what communist ideology. Full stop. The Communist Party of India, the Communist Party of India, the Communist Party of India, primarily, the Communist Party of India, primarily, okay, secular. They are secular. All religions are equal for them. They're secular, comma, modern and authoritarian. Modern and authoritarian. Full stop. Modern and authoritarian. Full stop. A.K. Gopalan. A.K. Gopalan. A communist leader. A.K. Gopalan. A communist leader from Kerala. From Kerala. From Kerala. Worked as a Congress worker initially. Worked as a Congress worker initially. Initially. Later he joined the Communist Party in 1939. Later he joined the Communist Party in 1939. 1939. That's all about the Communist Party. Read. There are a number of other points also are there. Next one. Bharatiya Janasangh. Bharatiya Janasangh. Bharatiya Janasangh. The Bharatiya Janasangh was formed in 1951. The Bharatiya Janasangh was formed in 1951 by Shyama Prasad Mukherjee. By Shyama Prasad Mukherjee. With the ideology of one country, one culture, and one nation, and called for a reunion, of India and Pakistan, India and Pakistan, in Akhanda Bharat. Okay, Akhand Bharat. Next party, Swatantra Party. Okay, write down. Swatantra Party was formed in August 1959. Swatantra Party was formed in August 1959. After the Nagpur resolution of Congress, after the Nagpur resolution of Congress, which called for a land ceiling, full stops. Its important leaders were C. Rajagopalachari, K. M. Munshi, N. G. Ranga, and Minu Masani. Full stop. Its ideology emphasized on the free economy, and less involvement of the government, in controlling the economy. Less involvement of the government in controlling the economy. Controlling the economy. And the closer relation with the United States of America, and the closer relationship with the United States of America. Okay, these are some short notes about the different political parties. Now, so already you wrote Congress as social and ideological coalition. Wrote that or not? Please check. Okay, we just wrote so. Next one, tolerance and management of factions. Write down tolerance and the management of factions. Faction means we know that a particular group of people within the Congress party with a different ideology, okay, or different programs. Okay, write down tolerance and management of factions. This coalition-like character of the Congress, coalition-like character of Congress, coalition-like character of Congress gave it an unusual strength, gave it an unusual strength, full stop. Firstly, a coalition accommodates, a coalition accommodates, a coalition accommodates all those who join it, all those who join in it. Therefore, it has to avoid any extreme position, and strike a balance, on almost issues. Okay. Strike a balance in almost all issues. Full stop. Secondly, in a party that has the nature of coalition, there is a greater tolerance. Of internal differences. Greater tolerance of internal differences. Greater tolerance of internal differences. And ambitions. Of various groups, ambitions of various groups, and leaders are accommodated. Second point, even if a group was not happy with this position, even if a group was not happy with the position, of the party, or with its share of power, it would remain in the party. It would remain in the party and fight the other groups and fight the other groups, fight the other groups rather than leaving the party. Fight the other groups rather than leaving the party. And becoming an opposition, and becoming an opposition, and becoming an opposition, full stop. These groups inside the party are called factions. These groups within the party are called factions. Factions. Next point. The factions took different ideological positions. The factions took different ideological positions. The factions took different ideological positions. Making the Congress as a grand centrist party. As a grand centrist party. As a grand centrist party. Next point. The other parties primarily attempted to influence these factions, and thereby indirectly influenced policy and decision making from the margins. Next point. Therefore, political competition, political competition took place within the Congress. Political competition took place within the Congress. Within the Congress. Full stop. In that sense, in the first decades of electoral politics, in that sense, in the first decades of electoral politics, the Congress acted both as the ruling party, the Congress act both as the ruling party, as well as the opposition, as well as the opposition. That is why this period of Indian politics has been described as That is why this period of Indian politics has been described as the Congress system. 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 Clear? Okay. Next one, emergence of opposition parties. Emergence of opposition parties. The last topic of this chapter. Okay. There are several points are there. Write down. It is not that India did not have opposition parties during this period. Did not have opposition parties during this period. Opposition parties during this period. While discussing the results of the elections. While discussing the results of the elections. While discussing the result of elections. The names of many parties came into existence other than the Congress. Next point. Even then, India had a large number of diverse and vibrant opposition. India had a large number of diverse and vibrant opposition vibrant opposition parties than many other multi-party democracies. Multi-party democracies. Some these had come into being. Even before the first general election of 1952. Even before the first general election of 1952. Some of these parties played a major role in the politics of the country, Sorry, what you wrote now? Played a major role in the politics of the country, right? In the politics of the country, right? In 1960s and 70s. In 1960s and 70s. In 1960s and 70s. Done? Okay, next point. These parties offered a sustained and often principled criticism of the policies of the policies and practices of Congress Party. Congress Party. This kept the ruling party under check. This kept the ruling party under check and often changed the balance of power within the Congress. And often changed the balance of power within Congress. Okay. So stop writing. Two more points are there. We will discuss in the next class. Okay. So I hope this chapter is clear for you, right? So basically, we discussed about how the Congress Party managed to win the election soon after the independence for nearly 3 decades. Clear or not? Okay. And how the different political parties came into existence along with the Congress Party. We discussed about the various leaders, different leaders, those who have different ideology from Congress Party. Okay, their ideologies are different than the Congress Party. And how different political parties are emerged and what were their political ideologies, political programs. Clear? Understand? Okay, so these kind of things are very important from this chapter. And I will conduct a test for this particular chapter in the next working day. Tomorrow? No. How many days you want to learn this chapter? Tell me. Tell me fast. Okay, today 15th Aishwarya. Actually checking in the calendar. Today 15th of April. Tell me, how many days you want? 2 days?
Next Monday.
Next Monday. Okay. Any other opinions are there? Any other opinions are there? Any other comments are there? No. So we'll fix the test for the coming Monday. Clear? Okay, so learn this chapter well. All the notes are there with you. Okay. Clear or not? Okay, so learn it well and we will meet in the next class. Thank you everyone. And the next class we will start our part A textbook. Clear or not? Contemporary world. Clear? So sit with that textbook and the first chapter. So you have the textbook with you, right? Everyone. Okay. So we will meet in the next class. Sneha, what about your textbook? Is there with you?
No, sir.
Yes. No. If it is no, so try to download a PDF copy and print it and keep a copy of that with you. Okay. Clear. So textbook is compulsory for us. Okay, everyone. Thank you. We will meet in the next session.